Anyway, we're going to start with the first topic for this week in Geek. And essentially, guys, we're just going to talk about some Division because like all of the cool shit happened. And yeah, so if you guys are new, if you haven't heard, they announced an expansion for the Division 2. It goes live March 3rd. That's literally 3 weeks from yesterday. Yeah, we go back to New York. New area of New York. It's what, South Manhattan? Southern Manhattan? I think it's South Manhattan. Whatever. It's south of where we were at before. Brand new area. There was a hurricane that hit, so it even looks different, obviously. And then it's summertime also, so there's no winter. But the same factions from New York are there. Cleaners have been updated. If you are live in the game today, episode 3 landed today, and you go to Coney Island, which is in New York, and the cleaners show up there. Spoiler alert. So you get to fight the cleaners there. They've been kind of updated. They look cool. They move cooler. Yeah, man, it was cool to pop those tanks again. It was really, really cool to pop those tanks again because it's been so long since we've been able to pop them. And that was always one of the most satisfying things about Division 1. So they announced that. They announced it's $30 to buy the expansion. Your level goes up to 40. So if you get the expansion, essentially all of your gear will be useless by the time you get to 40. Your builds and stuff will still be good when you first go over to New York. But after that, you'll probably just start getting better gear as you progress up. Once you get to level 40, gear score is gone. There's no more gear score. Instead, once you get to 40, you'll start building, what do they call it? Shade levels, right? SHD levels. So every X amount of XP that you get, X being a variable that I don't know what that number is, you will be able to add a knock. They showed it today. I wish if I would have been more prepared. I'm sorry. I streamed during normally on Wednesdays. I get home and I can kind of take some time and get some materials prepared. Today, because I streamed during the day, got done with stream, left, picked up my daughter, picked up dinner, came home, ate, and then literally started getting ready for this stream. I just didn't have time. But essentially, when you get those shade levels, you can add them to there's 4 different boxes essentially that each have 4 different areas, and there's offensive, defensive, skills, and there was a 4th one that I can't remember what it is now. I can't remember that one. And then there's also scavenging, which I think we were kind of talking over them during the state of the game. It made it seem like it gives you better chances or that you get more items as you scavenge. Yeah, you can still pop the cleaner tank. Super, super fun. So that's what happens after level 40. And then level 40 gear is just level 40 gear now. They're redoing the entire gear game with Gear 2.0. They announced that and went over it ad nauseum a couple weeks ago. So I'm not going to get too much into that unless anybody has a specific question about it. If you missed that news a few weeks ago or if you missed them talking about it yesterday. But they're completely redoing the entire gear game. So yeah. My plan is 3 Mondays from now, essentially March 2nd, the night before this all goes live. I will go in. I'm gonna have a big party on Twitch, and I'm gonna delete all of my gear. I'm going to delete. I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna delete all my gear except for my exotic weapons. I'm getting rid of all my armor except for 1, maybe 2 builds. I might keep 1 LMG build and 1 assault rifle build, just because the holster talents on the exotics will still work, but the exotics, as you play through, your exotics are going to be out leveled eventually, right? Because as you go from 30 to 31 to 32 to 33, those exotics will not level up with you, so you will have to reacquire them again at 40. But I figured for holster talents, like for the Nemesis, or like if you use the shotgun and roll the reload, it would be worth it to keep those. I don't know, especially now that I've got I got the Chameleon today, which is a new exotic that they just put in the game, which honestly is possibly the coolest and most unique gun that is in the game. Certainly the most unique that I've used. I really, really like the way it works. It's badass. If you haven't seen it yet, it's got a It's got like this camouflage type, active camouflage look to it, and it takes the color of whatever you're standing on. And what happens, it looks like a Vector with a drum magazine on it, but it is an assault rifle class. And when you aim down sights, you get 3 hexagons, right? There's one here, and one here. And the main talent on it is when you stack a certain amount of headshots, you get, I think, 20% critical hit chance for 45 seconds. If you stack 100 body shots, you do 100% more weapon damage for 45 seconds. And if you stack X number of leg shots, then you get 150% reload for the next 45 seconds. Now, what I thought was super cool is I thought it was going to be those 3 were competing. Once you fill one up, then that timer runs out. Boom, it resets all of it. But it doesn't work like that. It's dynamic in the way that, like, it works with, like, as you build all 3 of them, they all build up. And let's say you build up your body shot damage first, that one goes white and then starts counting down, essentially, so you get that 100% weapon damage. But while that's active, you are still building the other 2, so you can actually have it where all 3 of them activate at the same time and you get all 3 of those bonuses at the same time. It's only happened to me twice that I've had both the critical hit chance and the damage, and they weren't exactly synced up, but holy shit, man, I was tearing through mobs. And they were just random mobs, I think, in a challenging bounty, but dude, it was so much fun. Tokyo's asking, how did I get that? I got it. I heard somebody on Twitter was saying to do bounties. I went into the map, and you know how you bring up the targeted loot system on the map? I brought up the targeted loot, looked for the assault rifle area, and did the bounties in that area. I got it on my first bounty. My first bounty, I think, was it was just a hard level bounty. It wasn't even challenging. It was hard. Boom, it popped first bounty I did. So yeah, somebody said to do bounties, and then I thought that the targeted loot might help a little bit more. I don't know if that helped or not, but it was an assault rifle. I figured, why not try it? Did it. First try, it worked. So, yeah, I haven't, like I said, I haven't had any time to get on like YouTube or anything like that and watch anybody else's videos yet. And I've barely seen Twitter, so I'm not sure if anything else is working. GVid, you got yours at Camp White Oak from a loot box on challenging? No shit, it dropped from a loot box. So there you go. Was targeted loot active there? No, targeted loot was in that north section right next to the White House, to the west of the White House. Oh, it is a targeted loot area. Okay. I didn't know that was an assault rifle targeted loot area too. So there you go. Yeah, assault rifle targeted loot areas. Take a look. Also, Cassie Mendoza, if you have her right now, she is selling the Perfect Spotter mask. Probably only useful for the next 3 weeks, because after in Gear 2.0, only chest pieces and backpacks will have talents. So all of those talents on masks, gloves, and all of that, even on the named items, are going away. Named items, though, will have the ability to roll higher stats than even God roll level stats. So they'll still be worth getting. So still try to collect as many of the named items as you can. I got pissed today. I got dicked out of a named item doing a bounty, but it is what it is. Downtown West and Camp White Oak are both today. Okay. Yeah, so there you go, Tokyo. Going to Downtown West, I would do the bounties in Downtown West. Run around, collect, like look up divisioninteractivemap.com or something like that. Google search Division Interactive Map. And it'll bring up a map where you can highlight the weapon cases, and it'll show you all the open world weapon cases. So what I would do is go into that area that's targeted assault rifle, bring up that interactive map, bring up all of the weapon cases, do your bounties in that area. You can do activities while you're running around. Run around to all of the weapon cases, open all of those. If you haven't gotten it by that point, jump into Camp White Oak, hit challenging, and go for it, man. One of the cool things, Mark Ramsey, thank you very much for the host. I totally appreciate it. One of the cool things that we're getting with Loot 2.0 or Gear 2.0 is the not targeted loot system, but essentially it's difficulty based loot system. So the higher difficulty activity you're doing, the higher. How did he describe it today? He basically said there's a bell curve, right? For like weak and god roll, and any difficulty level, that bell curve exists, right? So you can get god rolls in story mode, but it's super rare because the way that bell curve lands on that end. But the bell curve is weighted towards the bottom on that, so the vast majority of your drops are going to be, in that lower edge of that sliding scale. As you turn up the difficulty, that bell curve slides. I shouldn't expand both. It slides towards the top, so you will still have a chance of getting the worst piece of gear possible, but your chances of that are way lower, and your chances of getting high, like god rolls, are higher, and your chances of your overall rolls being better are higher because that bell curve is covering much more of that high to mid high area of the slider. They also announced today that you have global difficulty. So it's not just going into a mission and setting the difficulty in that mission now. You can turn your entire map open on heroic. So kill a random red bar and it'll be on the heroic scale for gear. Yo, Young Fan, thank you very much for the shout out. Everybody go check out Mark Ramsey for that host. Thank you very much, Young, for kicking ass on that. So that will encompass everything on the entire map. So if you put the map on heroic, like, you don't have to grind up checkpoints anymore. You don't have to do the random little side activities in order to get a level 4 checkpoint, because level 4 checkpoint before was just heroic. You just set your world to heroic, go and do a checkpoint. Bam, nailed it. That's all you got to do. And then they said that once you take over a checkpoint, that checkpoint will stay controlled by you until you go in and decide to reset them. So that one commendation is going to be stupidly simple to get now, if you don't have that yet. And that's in Washington, D.C. and New York City. They said that the part of New York that you go to will have all of the same types of activities that we have in D.C. It's a bit like changing world tiers in Division 1, kind of, but even the world tiers, like, you still had... Even in Division 1, when you were at max world tier, you still had, the challenging and legendary level difficulty missions. But everything out on the street was still way easier than, like, a legendary mission. This will set all of it for heroic, right? They are adding in 3 legendary missions. The 3 original strongholds will all go legendary, which all have... They were jokingly calling them white tusk, because they're black tusk, but they're all dressed in white, but they have different, they act and behave differently to make them harder. The way that they described it to me sounds like the difference between regular mobs and the legendary mobs in Division 1, right? They'll have less prep time on their skills. They'll be less fooled by skills, so they'll be less apt if you throw out a turret. They'll be less apt to just look at that turret and wail on it until it's dead. If that turret's not threatening them, they'll probably just run past it and go after you. They specifically mentioned one of the big chungas, instead of having a healing drone on his back or whatever that, like, pops up healing on him, he'll have a stinger hive on his back. So if you get within range of him, it'll launch out those stingers at you. So it sounds super, super cool. Now, with the expansion, we get to go back to New York. We level up 30 to 40. We're hunting down Keener and his 4 warlords. The new map that they made for this is split up into 4 different sections. Each one of those sections has a main mission of kill that lieutenant or kill that warlord. And then Fog of War, I remember those old directives from the Underground. That will be live when you go into New York. So when you go into New York and you go into a new area, your mini-map will be black. It'll be covered. and you won't know where anything is, and you can't use your GPS to get anywhere. Like, you actually have to go exploring, and then as you explore, you'll uncover the mini map. Once you get that whole section, then you'll get the high res map, and then you can start using GPS. It's a lot, I think, like Wildlands worked. I don't know if Breakpoint works the same way, but Wildlands work like that. When you would get into a new area, you couldn't see anything outside of your immediate area until you got your drone up, and then you would have to scout around, and then as you move through it, you uncovered more and more of the map. So it's working like that. Once you go to New York, and this is kind of an important note. Once you go to New York, you cannot go back to Washington, D.C. until you finish the entire campaign for Warlords. Once you finish that campaign, you can go back and forth anytime you want. It's just like a helicopter ride to Camp White Oak or anything else. You just get on the helicopter, boom, back to DC, do all your stuff. Once you go back to DC, after you go to New York, you hit level 40, you do all the campaign stuff, and you head back to DC, the entire DC map will be leveled up to 40, and you'll no longer have gear score, and then you'll have all of those same things that we were just talking about, that you can like change world difficulty and all of that kind of fun stuff. God, man, what else? They've got seasons, and seasons will be 3 months long. They will be highlighted as you go through by 3-week manhunts for essentially super high priority target bounties that the game will give you. This was a cool thing. Keener's Warlords, when you beat them, each one of them have a unique skill, and when you beat them, you get that skill so you can use it. And essentially, that's how they're bringing back the old school Division 1 flashbang sticky bomb is coming back. Flash bomb sticky bang is what I call it. So the flash bomb sticky bang is back. There were 2 variants that they showed. They also showed a couple of new skills off, which looks super cool. There's a couple new brands. There's more brand sets. They reworked all of the brand sets, and looking at them yesterday, they look pretty dope. The way that they reworked them, they reworked all the gear sets, and then there's 2 new gear sets also. One of them looks a lot like Striker, and one of them, I don't know if it's the same one, sounds a lot like Striker. Yeah, and there's a gun that sounds like the Striker SMG, but yeah, so we'll see how that works. Assassin's Creed's like that too, Kirky. Oh, I guess it is. Yeah, you're right. I loved Assassin's Creed. Do you have an audio version of this show? Of the This Week in Geek? No, I don't know how to do that, so I haven't done it yet. And I wanted to, before I do eventually want to turn it into a podcast, but I need a few things before I do. I need better audio, because my mic right now spikes too much, and can you hear the fan? I can't get rid of that because it's actually a vibration. So I need to get my mixer and a better mic. Once I get that, I'll do the work to figure out how to upload it in podcast. And I wanted to get the format of this show nailed down, because eventually my plans with this is I actually want to do it like a call-in talk show where we'll take a queue of people in Discord and I'll take calls and we'll have back and forth. But I wanted to get this format. I wanted to get comfortable with this first, and figure out my timing, and if a half hour for each topic is too much, not enough. Like, I really want to iron that stuff out and nail this first before I start adding in new things. We've just been kind of going over a broad generalization of everything that came out in the past couple days. Topic 2 is going to be juicy. Topic 3 is just a really cool discussion, I think. Topic 2 is like the most juicy drama that like I don't really like to get into that much, but I think it's a super interesting conversation. In the world of like streaming video games, stuff like that. And I think it's really important to have the discussion with you guys, because you guys are viewers. Some of you are streamers also, but I'm really interested. Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, so we're going over that all now. What else was there? Oh yeah, you were asking me about the show itself. I need to figure out, if you don't want to do a call from Discord, you could always do it like SNTR does his Q&As. Yeah, Kirky, I'm trying to figure that out. I've got a script that Dax sent me, and I can't figure out how to get it to work exactly right, but also I don't want to rip off Say No to Rage. And I can't think of a way to make my own spin on the way he does it. So, yeah. Because, like, he used to do it where he would have a mod read him the questions, and then, like, the questions would go to Discord. He had the mod, and then now he's got the thing where it actually comes up on the screen. And if I can't figure out a way to put my own spin on that, I don't want to rip his own thing. Like, I just don't want to, I don't want to do the same thing, but in division with me instead of him. You know, like that, it just doesn't feel right to me. So, I'd rather do something different, then do something the same, essentially. And if I can't figure out my own way to put a spin on it, I won't. And it's one of the reasons, honestly, Mark, when you asked if this was an audio format, I want to do a podcast. I really do, like, badly. I would probably quit streaming if I could get a podcast, like, to work, because I like the talking more than I like video gaming. My problem is I really love streaming. I love the interaction, the instant interaction, which is why I don't do more YouTube. Like, I love this. I love the back and forth conversation. And you can't really do, I mean, I could do a podcast on Twitch and do it more as a podcast, and I'd like to do that, but I can't figure out a good hook. Like, I just can't. Everybody's got a podcast nowadays, right? There's streamer podcasts, there's podcasts about streaming, there's podcasts about video games, there's podcasts about Division, there's podcasts about Destiny. Like, everybody's got a fucking podcast, and people have interview podcasts. People, like, I need to figure my own angle to make it fresh. And that's what I like about this show, is that I don't think I just talk about a thing, right? Like, we can talk about the Cyberpunk, you know, delay, and we did, but the angle I wanted to look at it from was more the development is, you know, like we did a couple weeks ago, is crunch time as bad as it really seems, right? Or is that just like a buzzword that everybody says is, oh, bad? Like, I want to find a different angle, and if I can't find a different angle, I kind of don't want to talk about it. So, I mean, I do want to talk about certain things on the show no matter what, because, like, when Clone Wars comes out, we'll probably do a half an hour on the new Clone Wars season, because I'm really fucking looking forward to it. And I just want to, you know, I want some things to be light. But, like, even today's the next topic that we're going to talk about, the reason, well, I'll get into all that. But, yeah. Yeah, no, I want to make it mine. And I've honestly, Kirky, I have been trying to figure out for 2 years how to make that mine. In fact, I even reached out to him to figure out how he does it. And I specifically said, I'm not trying to rip you off. I will not do this unless I can figure out a fresh way to do it. But how the fuck do you do that? And I never heard back from him. So, like, yeah, I won't do that. Which is honestly another reason why I don't do a lot of YouTube content, because half the time, especially with working 40 plus hours a week and being a single parent and, like, doing all this other stuff, by the time I get to sit down to make a video, 15 videos of it have already been made. And it's like, why? Why am I going to do the same thing? Like, if I have a fresh new angle, like, there's a video I want to make and I just haven't had time yet, and it's about things that have been going on, but it's a different angle. And, like, everybody else can focus on, like, you know, how to get the chameleon, what bill, blah, blah, blah. And I'll focus on just other things that people aren't talking about. However, the problem with that is because nobody's talking about it. Nobody looks up the videos. So it's kind of different. Yeah, Kirky, that was exactly the point, essentially, is like, Augmented Smurf found an article from a Bungie employee back in 2004. And it was like, oh, man, we had to work 50-hour weeks. And I was like, bitch, you had to work 50-hour weeks? I worked retail for 20 goddamn years. I worked 50-hour weeks 3/4 of every year for 20 fucking years. Fuck you with 50 hours being crunch time and brutal. That was essentially my take on it. However, that was also one mod. That was also one house, one developer, and that was also back in 2004, right? So things have definitely changed. I don't think, 40, 50, like 50 hours was average back in 2004. Now it is, but, in 10 or 20 years, people will be looking at me and going like, no, you worked 50 hours for 20 years. I've worked 74 hours every week from the day I was born till the day I die, right? That's just the way shit happens. But so yeah, Division 2, that's that. What else is there? There's the seasons. There are leagues. which sound interesting for really hardcore players that put in shit tons of hours every week that run out of shit to do. They sound super dope. They said that they'll give you like different things to do, like kill 500 things with headshots, and you get those, boom, you get a little check mark, or points or something. And then they've got leaderboards, and then they'll get more and more difficult, like kill these 4 guys while your shoes are tied together, while they're peeing, and their buddy is looking out for them, right? Like, if you can set that up, kill them, you get the little check mark. So it's kind of like, it kind of seems like the commendation system now just made into like given points and given leaderboards. That's what it sounds like, but it sounds cooler. The referral thing going on. Okay, we got 3 minutes, so I got to be really quick about this. And I'm going to try to get my opinion on the referral thing done in 2 minutes or less, and as calmly as I can. Fuck the referral program. Okay, done. We'll move on. Honestly, also build a snowman in the summer. Exactly. No, I don't want to say fuck the referral, the friend referral. I think the referral program is super, super cool. I've always liked them in games. I think the rewards that are in that, if anybody hasn't seen this, or if people haven't seen it, essentially, they've got a referral program that when you refer a certain number of friends, they use your link when they create their account, they create their character, blah, 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 blah. You get prizes in game, right? So essentially you're monetizing your friendships with in-game rewards. And they are the coolest fucking rewards, cosmetic rewards that this game has put out yet. It's a fucking hunter outfit. Full fucking hunter outfit. We're talking mask. We're talking shirt and upper body. We're talking pants. We're talking boots. We're talking 3 different backpack danglers, including one that looks like a dangle of hunter circles, or of agent watches. And then there's also a named, I think it's an LMG, a named LMG as one of the rewards. It's so fucking irritating. So I saw, especially if you're going to do that, do it at launch of the goddamn game. When you're doing it now, all of my friends that want to play Division are already fucking playing goddamn Division. My friends that aren't playing Division aren't going to play Division. Like, yeah. At least, if they're going to do this, in my opinion, I get it. It's the friend referral thing. That's cool. I got super pissed when Destiny did it, because when Destiny did it, it was the only way at the time to get double black. There was a black shader that or it was black and tiger. It was like black and silver tiger striped or something like that. And that was the only way to get it. I got really pissed. There was a super cool looking sparrow that I wanted that I couldn't get. It's fucking irritating, right? Because a lot of gamers are solo nerds, let's face it. And I don't mean nerds in a bad way. I'm a solo nerd. If I did not stream, I would have 3 or 4 people that I talk to about Division and in-game. That would be it. I wouldn't talk to anybody else about Division. Like, I have no way to get that in that circumstance. And like the coolest shit in game, I don't like that idea. I really don't. If you're gonna put it in game in the friend referral thing, cool, do it that way so that people can get it for free if they want, but also put it in the goddamn cash store. Like, let me fucking buy that let me buy it if I want to. It should be in the cash store also, but that's just me. I think every single cosmetic this game puts in should be in the cash store. I just do. Unless it's like a raid reward or other in-game playable thing that you have to do in-game. Saw a tweet with Highlander where he said that level 31 gear and weapons are better than gear score 515. Yes, I did see that. I just looked up what the hell it looks so bad. Yeah, here. I should have been more prepared, but I was not prepared for that. So before we move on to the next topic, I'll show you guys. Division 2 refer a friend badass rewards. And just to show you guys. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Badass looking black and orange hunter Hunter mask. You got the mouth mask, I guess, that you use with, I don't, maybe that's a cup. I don't know. You got this badass dangler with the Hunter watches. You got this other one that has like a Shade Tech thing, boots, and a named LMG. Yeah, no, super sexy. Get some friends. So I know I shouldn't bitch about not having friends, but I think that shit irritates the bejesus out of me. It really, really does. Yeah, it's super, super cool. It is what it is. I'll figure out how to log in for it. I'm sure I'll put my code in, and I'm sure I will tweet the fucking bejesus out of it. The thing that really irritates me about it. Oh. And your friends have to be on the same format as you. So if you play on PC, the friends that you refer have to be on PC. If you're on PS4, you see where I'm getting at with this. What really chaps my ass about this is that they announced this shit fucking today instead of yesterday, and I've had 2 of my friends today buy the goddamn game and install it and start playing. Today. Thanks, Division. That's fucking awesome. Did you see that it said PC only currently? What said PC only? Yeah, now I will say the one thing I was looking up, I'm gonna check what I just said. Because I did see somewhere that the people that are... Is this the question answer thing? Okay. What's friend referral program? We already kind of know. We kind of already went through it. How do I participate as a veteran? Can I click shit, please? You need to own a copy for PC, Xbox One, PlayStation. Have played more than 2 hours. Cool. How do I refer friends? Please. Thank you. As a veteran, simply log in, blah, 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 blah. You'll be able to invite your friends through one of 2 ways. You can use your Ubisoft friends list to select the friends you wish to invite and click invite. This will send your friends an email containing your unique invitation URL for them to link to you. Alternatively, you can view your unique URL and link it, blah, blah, blah. You can only invite friends who are not already veterans. So here's my issue with the or are not already a recruit for someone else. So the people that have signed up today to play... Sure, I could probably get them my code, invite them, and whatever. But if I invite them, now they can't be veterans elsewhere, or I can't invite Johnny because if he's going to do it. So, like, if all of my friends are trying to do this because all of my friends are trying to get the gear, how the fuck are any of our friends supposed to get our other friends to... You see where I'm getting at with this? Like, if it was... both the recruit and the veteran get the rewards, and maybe it is. Maybe I've misread that, but yeah, no, it just... What are recruit rewards? Okay, evidently there's recruit rewards. Let's... maybe I went off half-cocked on this. I don't think I did, but we'll see. Will you unfucking furl? Thank you. Once you've completed 3 missions in co-op with your recruit/veteran, you will receive the rewards directly in-game. Okay, yeah, it seems like both the recruit and the veteran get it. That's not bad. But yeah, you have to do stuff in game. It's the same as Destiny's, essentially. How giving the people who haven't stopped playing the game a 3-month reward? Just charge me $10-15. I mean, Kirky, I'm the exact same way. Don't make me jump through hoops and fucking monetize my friends. Just, what do you think 3 people are worth? $25? Cool. I'll give you $25. Give me those badass fucking rewards. Because they are cool as shit. $25? Yeah, I'd buy all of this. $25. Give it to me. You know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. $35. I'd buy $5 a piece. Boom. Done. I would do that in a heartbeat. Do it in a heartbeat. No problem. Today for Div 2, total worth $9. Oh, right. Okay, so we're going to transition into our next topic. Thank you guys very much for hanging out on that. If you watch this on YouTube, please do all the things. Thank you very much for being here. If you like this, I do go live on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I do this show every Wednesday. I start at 6:30 where we kind of chit-chat bullshit and whatever, and then we start the topics at 7. Thank you guys very much for watching. Everybody on Twitch, you know what? I fucked up. I should have paused a little bit. See, this is what I said. I'm trying to do this and learn it a little bit better before I move on, before putting it on air, because I should have given myself more time in between those two things. So I could have cut it better, but oh well. Okay, topic 2.